Caleb, you saw this Texas offense last year when you were at Alabama. What kind of challenges they present with the shifts and motions and all the movement you get from them?
Their OC really does a great job of providing a lot of eye candy for the defense, and all the shifts and motions, you have to make sure you're on the same page in order to play a really sound and complete game, and they've done a great job this year, and it's let them get to this point.
Cameron Teague Robinson, The Athletic.
Caleb, it seems like Jordan Hancock maybe doesn't get enough of the recognition that he deserves. How many ways does he impact this defense and even impact what you can do, whether getting the block or staying high as well?
He's a tremendous player. He has a lot of versatility, and that's you can't really put a price on that just because you can ask him to do so many things. And even in the game, like there'll be plays where like I'll feel like we need to change the coverage, and I'll tell him, okay, you play this different position, which he hasn't done, but he makes it work. So he's a tremendous player, and he's going to be a really good talent in the NFL.
Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
I asked you after the game about this a little bit, but you're playing more, they're closer to the box now. Was that something that you had suggested, or the coaches came to you, and how much do you like it? How much more impactful do you think you can be there?
It wasn't something that I suggested. The coaches, they've done that themselves. So, I mean, I feel like I can play anywhere on the field, and I'm just glad to be able to make plays.
And how do you feel like you're more impactful being closer to the line of scrimmage or not?
I feel like it's either way. I feel like if you have me in the post, I can make plays. Have me in man, I can make plays. Have me in the box, I can make plays. So it doesn't really matter.
Over to the left, Noah Weiskopf, The Lantern.
Caleb, what's it like seeing the offense operate like it has in the first two playoff games early from your perspective, and then what does that do for a defense throughout the game?
I've been ecstatic watching them play. It's been very eventful on the sideline, just seeing them play at a really high level and seeing everybody succeed. So, I mean, it's a great feeling. And then as a defense, it allows you to really know, like, okay, we got both sides of the ball working right now. We're playing at a high level.
Scotty, we'll let you take it with some Zoom questions there.
Thank you, Jared. First question is going to come from Andy Anders. Andy, go ahead.
Another question about playing in the box, but I just wanted to draw on that specifically. You know, obviously you said you make plays wherever you're at on the field, but what about playing kind of at that maybe 12-yard depth in the middle maybe allows you to see and read and react to things and flow sideline to sideline when you're in that position?
I mean, I feel like I'm comfortable at that position, and it allows me to be able to read the line and read the quarterback and able to get in the run game and play the pass. So I feel like that's a good spot for me, but I feel like I'm versatile enough to move around.
This question is going to come from Danny Davis. Danny, go ahead.
Hey, Caleb. Appreciate the time. Since you guys are both Thorpe Award finalists, I'm wondering, do you have a relationship or know Jade at all? And what are your thoughts on his game?
He's a tremendous player. He's played really well this year. Watching his film, he's made a lot of plays, and they do a really good job on their defense, but I don't know him personally.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Donovan Bridgeforth. Donovan, go ahead. I think he withdrew his question. We will go to Kurt Bowles.
Hey, Caleb. I was going to ask you about the Michigan thing. Texas obviously went up there at Ann Arbor and beat them, and y'all had your issues with them. Do you put any stock in that, or was that Texas-Michigan game just so long ago it doesn't matter at all?
I mean, at this point in the season, it's win or go home. So really, whatever happens in the past doesn't have any stock or anything. Doesn't mean anything. So we have to play on Friday, and that's really all that matters.
We're going to take two more from Zoom before turning it back. Our first one's going to come from Steven from Cleveland.com. Go ahead. Oh, Stefan, I'm sorry.
Hey, Caleb. We've seen, you were talking about the Ohio State offense, the success that they've had. Obviously, Jeremiah's been a big part of that. What's it been like this year going against him in practice? And, you know, after doing that, does it surprise you at all to see him having the success he's had as a freshman?
No, it doesn't bring any surprises. It was pretty easy to see the talent that he has and the blessings that God has put on his plate. But it's always a challenge going against Jeremiah and the other receivers and Mecca and Carnell in practice, and even guys like Brandon Ennis and Bryson Rogers. They do a great job bringing looks for the defense and create a lot of obstacles.
Our final question from Zoom is going to come from Dan Hope. Go ahead, Dan.
Caleb, Quinn had a lot of success against you guys when you played him at Alabama last year. Just what do you remember from going up against him last year, and what can you learn from that game?
Really smart quarterback, knows how to operate their offense, puts the ball in the right places, and then Coach Sarkisian does a great job putting him in positions to win.
All right,
Jerry, back to you.
Yep, thank you. Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Caleb, JT and Jack playing opposite sides. Are they as opposite off the field as they are on in terms of personality and just the people they are?
They're opposites, but they're also like one of the closest people I know. They spend a lot of time together. They've come from different sides of the country, so they're different people for sure. But they're both really great people and really great men. So I respect both of them.
If you had to describe their personalities, how would you do that?
I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that.
We'll go to Austin Ward, podcast.
Throughout the season, we would always see you on like Wednesday nights. You and Lathan would be some of the last people off the field. Are the things that you're working on after a practice always the same? Is it a routine? What are the things that you're hoping to get out of those extra moments after practice?
It's a routine, pretty much, the keys that we need to go into the game with. And then also it changes week to week based on what our jobs are going to put us into doing. So every week we go through the same things, and then we add certain things that we do for the week, what the team that we play is going to ask us to accomplish.
Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Yeah, I already got mine, Jerry.
Oh, okay. Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Caleb, when Texas uses play action, and they seem to use play action a fair bit, what do they do well in those spots, and what's the key for you guys in those moments with Quinn?
They do a really good job with eye candy, and it creates a lot of challenges for defense in order to see if it's run or pass, and to see because that's when they're going to take their shots too as well. So really just having great eye discipline, seeing the line and seeing what it's telling us. So that's what it does.
Deep right, Mick Walker, Letterman Row.
Caleb, you guys had a pretty good game plan for Tyler Warren when you guys played him. You guys have another, Texas has a good tight end and Gunnar Helm. What do you guys kind of have to do to limit him, and what do you think about his game?
He's a really good player. He makes a lot of plays, and has a lot of receiving yards this year. So really just do the same thing we've done all year, just be disciplined in our responsibilities, and if you're on them, you got to make the play when it comes.
Right in front of him, Andrew Gillis, Cleveland.com.
When you look at their receivers as kind of a whole, they spread the ball around, it seems like a lot. What stands out about, the way that they can spread the ball around to those different guys?
A lot of really good athletes. I played with Isaiah Bond last year. He was a really great receiver, a lot of speed, and then all the receivers have made a lot of plays. So, everybody has to be on their P's and Q's if we're going to stop them and do a really good job.
Front row here, Tim May, Letterman Row.
Yeah, Caleb, you moved up here, and I don't have to tell you when you moved, but basically a year ago and stuff. It was a little bit of a leap of faith because you know how many athletes are on this team, good athletes and stuff. But when did you really feel this defense come into its own? And then past that, man, watching you in the Rose Bowl, your recognition of what was coming seemed to be on point. Did it feel like that? You personally.
I think the defense has played really well throughout the season. I think we've had games where we played better and games where we haven't put it all together, but I think that's how all defenses are. So I can't say there's a certain moment where I think we put it together. But what was your second part of your question again?
In other words, you seemed really on point against Oregon about recognizing what was coming. You were really active out there directing and things like that. Did it feel like that, I guess?
I feel like, as Luke said earlier, the preparation that we put in goes into that, and just feeling comfortable in what we're doing, comfortable in what we're seeing with the other teams. I feel like that allows us to play fast and me and Lathan to communicate to everybody else.
Did I miss anyone for questions here? Steve Hellwagen, 24/7 Sports.
Yeah, Caleb, you came to Ohio State to play for national championship, and there were a lot of ups and downs throughout the season. Just to be in this position, the last 4 teams still alive, just do you feel validated by that? And did you always have faith that this is how it was going to turn out?
I came to Ohio State to become a better player and to help the team be as good as it can be, not to win a national championship. Not like that wasn't the only goal for me coming here. Really just wanted to be on the team and be with the brotherhood. But it's a great feeling being in the Final Four and being with the team and everything that comes with that. But it's a blessing to be here.
And one final question, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Yeah, I did want to follow up. When I talked to you after the game, you said when they scored their first and second touchdown, you were really hot on the sidelines. What was your message to the team? And you know, that's a good offense. They're going to score against most teams. Why were you so hot?
Really just because we didn't execute, which let them score. So we've done that a lot, which is something we can't do in these big games, in these games where it's win or go home. So we got to make the plays when they come, and we got to have competitive excellence, as Coach Day says, make the play when your number's called.
Caleb, thank you very much.
Appreciate y'all.